Hey YouTube, and thanks for watching Junkworks Garage. Well, this is probably a 3 or 4 year project going here. I'll explain that a little later, but regardless, I started on it, the snow went away. The next year I had a different way of moving snow, so I didn't worry about it. So it's been 3 or 4 years actually that this has been just sitting outside, and it's been covered but outside. But anyways, I'm gonna show you the video of what I've done so far, and then we're gonna see if this thing will actually start up. Well, I got this old snowblower here. It is a Toro 521. Hopefully you can. This was my dad's, and I brought it home when we moved my mom because she didn't need it anymore. And he used this a couple years and then quit using it because something happened to it. Unfortunately, I don't know what that something is, although over here by the carburetor, this has all been taken off of here. I have it sitting down there to kind of hold it so I didn't lose it, kind of thing. But I do realize that that is there, so hopefully the rest of the screws are in there too. I got this tipped up on end, and there are bolts here and here and here and here. Looks like 4. And right now, let's see, what do I got on here? I got a 3/8. And everything looks pretty good in here. It even looks pretty well greasy. I probably might shoot a little bit more in here when I got it open, but honestly right now I just want to make sure things are working. And quite honestly, I don't think this machine has been used hardly at all. Like it doesn't look like it's really well used. All the teeth look like they're good shape. The belts could probably use changing, but honestly this is one of those things I won't change the belts until either it won't run because they're slipping so bad or a belt breaks. All in all, looks good in here. We're going to go on to the next thing. Start on here. I have no idea if it works. It's kind of unplugged feeling. But I'm going to give it some pulls just to see. Yeah, everything's moving freely in there. No problems that way. Might need to check the spark plug, make sure we're getting spark. Boot looks a little bit almost chewed up. I don't know if that was from like a mouse maybe. Almost looks like a mouse has chewed on that boot a bit, so I may need to try and replace the boot. Wire's definitely got some issues right here. So that's something I'm going to have to look at, is if this got messed up from some mice. That's not good, because that'll let some spark out. It shouldn't be. And we'll check the oil. The oil kind of dripped out a little bit when I brought it forward, so there's obviously oil in there. In fact, I may check this again. Well, you know what? That oil looks pretty low. I'm going to let that drain back down, make sure I didn't just drain a bunch up into the cap here. And we'll check that again before I start it. Let that sit for a while. Take this bottom bowl off of the carburetor here. And I got a 7/16. I tried 11mm will fit, but it's really tight. So righty tighty, lefty loosey. I'm going to go ahead and get this off of here. And it's going to start dripping gas, which means this probably has been full of gas the whole time. I'm going to throw this down here just to try a little bit here. And it does stink, which probably means that even if he did rebuild it, it probably needs rebuilt again. If you can see in there, yeah, it's not great. It's definitely green looking and smells bad. This carburetor is definitely coming off of here. There's a couple ways I've seen you can do it. There's a couple of screws here that people take off and they leave the whole manifold situation on there, or there's a bolt here and a bolt here. It does appear that there are nuts on the back of these. At least on the back of these as well, which is something that people were complaining about. Something weird about this is it actually comes up and rides on here, and that doesn't seem right to me, that's hitting like that. So I'm kind of wondering if the governor has a problem that needs addressed as well. I'm going to go ahead and actually, just so I don't end up messing things up underneath here too awful bad, or bending something I don't want to, I'm going to go ahead and put this back up on here too. Alright, and I realized you couldn't see that. There's one here and one here. And neither of them are coming by hand very easily. Try a little bit of tapping. Tapping and twisting. Nope. I'm going to get the big guns out here. Okay, and I realize you can't see this now. I got a wrench on the end of my screwdriver here. It's a little spot to put a wrench on these older Craftsman anyway. I don't know about newer ones. A lot of screwdrivers used to have that. And then you can use it to kind of pry. And I'm going to do some tapping. Come on now. Okay, that worked. Tapping just sometimes loosens some of the rust and gives it just a little extra. When in doubt, pulled in, packed out. This is where if you do anything I do and you mess up something, I'm not responsible. Now this is a P3 that I'm using here, both the bigger hand one and this one. Okay, there we go. That just works so nice, but it can screw things up and end up breaking inside there. You just never know. So far, been pretty lucky. Now that I said that, probably won't be. So now, that should come off of there. And then you gotta be careful with this, that we don't mess that up. And you need to try and get this to unhook. Well, YouTube, I'm not sure exactly where I was. I believe the end of this would have probably been me taking this all off. Quite honestly, I didn't know if I wanted to rebuild this, buy new stuff, what I need to do. But to buy all the parts to rebuild this and get everything else I needed and all that kind of stuff, quite honestly, it was cheaper to get this. There's good and bad reviews on these. They're kind of all around the boardwalk on what people think about them, so I'm going to find out. Quite honestly, all this was like, it came with the coil, which we're going to need. I'm not putting that in right now. I taped up the other one for now just to, I want to test this before I spend a ton of money on it. That's one of the biggest reasons why I actually went this way, is it was actually cheaper to buy all this than to rebuild this. So there's that. I need parts off of this still, so don't go throwing this away. And someday I may want to rebuild that because it's got more stuff to it. It's a better carburetor. I already know this, but hopefully this one will work out of the box. We shall see. But anyway, I went ahead and bought this. It was all less than, like, I honestly don't know. I'll put it down below. But anyway, it came with the primer ball, the hose for the primer, which both, I think my primer ball is actually fairly new. But I did need the hose. The hose definitely did not come off well. The fuel filter, which I also believe I need. I don't think there's one in there at all. Came with the carburetor and the gasket for the carburetor. And this coil, all in a kit that says it'll work on my snowblower. I believe I bought this separately. It was pretty much the cheapest fuel line I could find that was hopefully the right size. We shall see. Surprisingly, on my old one here, this is all plastic here, and this is actually a metal piece here. I think this is an Oregon. I'm not positive on that one. And they're I believe that's who it is. I'm not sure. But like I said, information will be below. And I'm going to just kind of pull the stuff off here that needs to come off here, make sure everything's all right. I was thinking I might have to take all this stuff off, so I was thinking about taking this whole thing off here, but I think I'm going to start out by pulling this off. It's a couple of, I believe, 3/8 bolts that should pull this tank off of here. Wow. Well, that's a bummer. Well, I'm going to finish pulling those off camera. Just by pulling that off, I was able to free that up a little bit there, and I actually was able to pull some of it out. I'm going to try this whole taping it up kind of thing one more time and see. Try this again here. Push it through as it pulls at the same time, hopefully. We're just hitting something right as we go through this area here. Just need it. There we go. Needed to get it past this little bracket down here. It's kind of, I don't know what this shield is here, but push and pull at the same time, so hopefully we go right on through to the other side. Alright, well that worked well that time. Definitely just pull out the fuel tank. So I went ahead and put that on. Quite honestly, this thing is so cheap, and who knows if it'll even work. I probably should have went and bought a better one than this, but I'm just getting this done. But it didn't even have something saying what direction things should go, so I put it in the direction it seemed right to me, and I'm sticking it kind of down in this area so it fits below. I tested this here, and it fits down below that. I might have to heat this one up a little bit. Well, I got that on there, a little bit of heat. I didn't film it because I was kind of in a hurry to make sure it didn't cool down. It's pretty cool in my shop. Now I did make it so it should hopefully flip up and go in here without being too awful messed up. There we go. That goes there. That's actually kind of right there. That actually fits real nice. Now I can get to this and turn it off and on. I should be able to hopefully, probably have to warm these up, pull this off, put a new one of these on pretty easily. All working out pretty okay. Back on the carburetor side here, we got our hose coming out here. We got plenty left to deal with. So now this is working. Here's the carburetor. Only thing I did, I had to put that back in there. I had to bolt the manifold thing here up to it, and the choke right here. I had to take the two screws out of here and put it back onto this one. So all in all, everything's pretty easily done here. Quite honestly, I don't remember which hole I need to put this into, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. Alright, here we are again a couple days later. Snow's pretty well gone again, and I still haven't got this done, but I'm going to work on it because I have some time right now. And the governor arm here, I believe it goes in this top outer one is what it was on. I'm going to stick that in there. Actually, I'm going to put it on here first. That's going to go on like that. Then I'm going to put this back in here, I hope. Let's see here. There we go. And bring it around. I hope. Whoop. There we go. It's a little bit tricky, but all in all, not too awful bad. Let's see here. What am I doing? There we go. Just had to figure out where the holes were. Now, that's something else. The gasket on here was in really good shape, so I am not worrying about replacing it. You may want to make sure your gasket is good, and it did not come, this gasket did not come with the kit, so I don't know if it's the same as the one on here. I do not believe it is. I think it's a different type of gasket, so yet again, it's one of those things you gotta choose what you want to do. I'm okay with using a gasket if it seems okay, especially in this kind of situation where it's really not that hard to pop a couple of screws off here and put a new one on it at some other point in time if I need to. I'm gonna go get the proper screwdriver to finish that off so I don't strip these out. But that is still hitting right on here. It just doesn't seem right to me. I have to switch that out at some other point in time. Could be that this arm has just been up a few too many times too and hitting. There we go. That helped right there. Now it's not hitting. So just bending that a little bit right there stopped it from hitting over here, and pulling this way it stops before it hits here now. So if you're having issues with things not seeming right, it could just be your rod's a little bent there. So the hose they give you with this kit will not work with this specific 521 Toro snowblower here, just so you know. So my next step is I'm going to try to hook it to this somehow. Right, well, I was actually digging through my stuff, looking for some way to splice this together with the other one, and I found this right here, which appears like it'll be about the right size to go over that anyway. So I am going to now replace it with this. I have no idea where this came from or what it's for. It says it's a polyurethane 6x4 millimeter something or another Truco. I have no idea even where I got this or why I got this, but I'm going to go ahead and pop this out carefully. There we go. I'm not gonna use what came in the kit. I'm gonna go ahead and reuse this bulb here and everything. That way I'll have a new spare part somewhere down the road if I really need it. Let's see if I can hook this over the top of this here. This will pull her through. Get a different direction here. Nope. Did not do it. So screwed the pooch on that. Should have taped it. It's alright. I will make it work. So we got it coming out. That was fairly uneventful, except for now this is really stuck on here. So that will come around here, and I'm going to stick this end on. Alright, and run this around through and up, and we're going to pull it tight, cut it off without letting it go, hopefully. I got lots of this, so if I screwed it up, I can do it again. This is really working well as far as size wise. There we go. I'm very happy with that. Now we need to finish up with the fuel line here, which I also want to give myself a little extra, and right there, somewhere in here, plus a little. This probably would have been easier to do with the actual the carburetor off. I should have probably done that for both. Well, we got that on there. Took a little effort. I got this pair of pliers, one of those free to garage sale a long time ago, and they're round. I think they're for like jewelry making or something, but they also don't crimp into things or bite so hard on lines that they bung them up, for lack of a better word. And I was able to use that to get in there. I also realized towards the end that this right here, this piece could turn up more because it was kind of turned down this way, and when I went to do this, it was like totally hitting on it, and so I kind of messed with it and was able to turn it some. So that does turn up and down inside the body there. Plugged in. I did not put gas in it. I don't have the spark plug boot connected. I just want to see if we got anything going on, and I'm a little scared to touch this. I did tape it up some, but who knows. So first thing I'm going to do, and I don't know if I said it, I put oil in it, made sure it was topped off on oil. I'm going to see if this starter works. Nothing close to neutral there, I hope. Otherwise I'm going to stay away from here. We'll start. It shouldn't really do a whole lot because there's nothing in there. Woo. All kinds of stuff coming out from behind here. Starter definitely a little bit iffy, but at the same time it did actually start. Alright, put something up in there. A little bit of spark, but not much of anything, so we shall see. I may have to change this out, but I would like to try and put some gas in it. That's probably the next thing I'm going to do. Hopefully we didn't just cough a bunch of crap into the carburetor already. Well, as you can see, it's the snowblower sitting in front of a bunch of snow, and it's probably 2, maybe 3 years since the last time I touched this thing, and it appears I need to button up the heat shield down here. I don't know what kind of light we have, but there's a heat shield here I need to put back on. I've had it outside covered up and no gas in it, so I believe I should be able to throw gas in it after putting that heat shield on, and we're going to try and start it and see if it'll work. Like I said, it's been a couple years sitting outside. It was covered. No gas in it. I haven't tried to start it since the last time you saw me in the video, which I think ended with my battery dying. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of finish buttoning this up. We're going to try and start it, see what happens. This video has gone on ridiculously long and way too many years before I actually got it done, and it's time to upload it one way or another. This says this is engaged, this is disengaged, so we're going to keep it disengaged for right now. Don't walk in front of it, it might hurt you while it's running. More of those warning things that nobody should need. Auger drive, engage and disengage, on and off. So there's on, there's off, so we got it on. I'm not sure about this. This is like reverse first. I'm going to put it in reverse. If it goes anywhere, it's going to hit the garage. I'm going to stay out of the way. You know what? I just don't know if that's something. And then you got first, second, third. So I don't know if that's like a neutral right there. Let's try it there first. Switch is on. We should be able to. That doesn't sound good. Choke is on. Throttle all the way up. I'll be a monkey's uncle. I have not touched that carburetor for 2 years at least, and I just put it on and that's the way it came. These Amazon carburetors are awesome. Telling you right now, these Amazon carburetors, I've got 2 videos now. One on this, one on my lawn tractor for the backyard. They are awesome. I've gotten 2 of them, and I've gotten either lucky twice or they come pre-ready to go. I can't believe how fast that started up. Alright, well, let's go try it. See if the rest of it works. I don't know how much of that you can see, but it obviously works. It doesn't really throw a lot of snow. I might have to spray down the chute with some PB Blaster or some T9 Bow Shield or something like that. But anyway, not sponsored by the way. It worked. I am extremely happy with it. I'm going to go finish up doing a couple things. I got my big tractor to do most of it, but I got to move cars if I'm going to do that. So there you go. Now you know it worked. I'm happy with it. Keep an eye out for probably more videos on that now that I know it's working. I at least need to do the coil and clean it up a little bit. All right. Thanks for watching Junkworks Garage, where I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all and master of none. You all have a good one.